You're listening to Nightmare on Film Street. The current time is 6:66. Traffic is clear ahead from here to the afterlife, but it's hell outside. For the next hour, you're on Nightmare time. So, let's give a grave welcome to our hosts, John and Kim.
Hello again, fiends, and welcome to Nightmare on Film Street, the horror movie podcast for the casually obsessed. I remembered to say it this time. I'm John.
I'm Kimmi.
And this week, in a stunning turn of events, because I bitched about it forever, we're doing another George Miller movie this week, and we are talking about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. This was Kim's one criteria, that if we were gonna talk about Mad Max, it had to be Beyond Thunderdome.
I feel like it's
Defend your choice.
I feel like it is a weird choice, but we've been like talking about it and threatening it for so long. Threatening it.
Okay.
Well, you've been threatening it.
Yeah, don't make me. I'll pull the fucking trigger on this one.
I think we watched this during COVID, maybe?
Probably.
Like, I remember...
What a great COVID movie.
I remember being in a delirious state the first time I watched this, and I think maybe I only had patience for the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Oh.
Because my memory... That was the whole film.
Well, I think that's what most people's memory is. They're just like, oh, Thunderdome, that was early. I don't know if I need to watch the rest of this. It's like, oh, Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, they really come, like, they get the Thunderdome out of the way.
They think that's the thing we're not going to be interested in? Like, oh, nobody's going to be coming here for the Thunderdome.
That definitely should have been the climax. I was here for the dome.
Right? Yeah, like the giant death fight pit with chainsaws and shit. It's like Cirque du Soleil if the performers had to fight to the death.
It would be a crime if Burning Man has never recreated Thunderdome.
Oh,
even
I
like
love
I'm
this idea.
I'm fine with like a soft Cirque du Soleil version where it's just a bunch of people pirouetting in there, but
okay. I like the idea of it being a polite debate where two people have an argument. They're like, take it in the Thunderdome. And like, there's no weapons, but they hash it out. Meanwhile, everything looks the same. You've got crazy desert people sitting on all corners of it, like tossing in water or something.
I hate sand.
I hate sand.
I hate sand.
Is this what stopped us from going to Burning Man?
So I hate sand.
Because I love drugs.
It is the only thing stopping me from going to Burning Man. But every single time we watch a Mad Max movie, I'm like... But the fashions, the desert fashions.
Okay, so you're looking forward to the apocalypse for the fashions?
Aren't you?
I guess I do get to dress like it's WrestleMania every night, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, shout out to the kid in the bowler hat in the car chase. He was my favorite, absolutely.
Oh, the kid with... Oh, wait.
He was the one that was like... a quiet, prophetic kid, I think.
Yeah, he's...
with the black eye makeup.
Yeah, he's sort of a precursor to all of the henchmen or whatever from Fury Road, the Witness Me kids.
I don't know.
Like the Kamikaze. Wow, okay. So here's the thing. We're finally talking about Mad Max. I'm really stoked about it. Very weird that we're starting with this one. So monumental in terms of the podcast feed here. And before we get to the end
post-apocalyptic fashions.
Yeah. And
trendsetters.
But before we get to the end, and I don't care if your criteria is just fashions, I want a definitive franchise ranking from you.
But I don't remember.
I think in the last calendar year, you have now officially
watched
all of the Max
them.
movies.
I have watched all of them.
Because it's like we're always 2 months away from me putting Fury Road back on.
Okay, so I quickly read the Wikipedia of the first and second movie soon as we finished.
Sand.
Yeah, Max, Max.
Dead
Max.
family.
Yeah. And I don't remember either film.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I
remember
you
the
not
second
liking
one's like gas, truck, gas.
Gas Town.
Yeah. And the first one's like, I'm going to kill your family. And then
there's a lot of that.
And then they do kill your family.
And every single one of these goddamn movies has big bugged out eyes directly in the camera. It is one of my favorite traits.
Like the jump scare thing?
It's not always a jump scare. Sometimes it's just
This one was a fucking jump scare.
It was so fucking incredible.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like right before people have a head-on collision, the camera just like goes up the hood of the car right into their face and then boom, like Looney Tunes style, their eyeballs pop out of their skull. But yes, in this one, it's when we've got binoculars in a chase sequence and we're keeping an eye on where all the bad guys are, and then, wow, fucking eyeballs right in your face. So good.
No, it was very good. It got me.
I honestly, I expected to come into this episode dunking on this movie. Because I was like, oh yeah,
You were setting it up like we were going to be dunking on it.
Yeah.
And we were watching
I was like,
it.
y'all ready for this bullshit?
I don't know. This is a kind of cohesive film, John.
More cohesive than Furiosa, that's for damn sure. But I guess.
Are you dunking on Furiosa?
I mean, somebody's got to do it.
I also don't remember Furiosa, and I think that's the one I've seen most recently.
The Hemsworth did a great job as the villain. My favorite scene of that entire movie is where he tastes her tears and he goes, yes, quaint. Funniest fucking moment of the entire movie. The rest of it, bit of a wash for me. Wasn't crazy about it. And if you hadn't asked me 2 hours ago where Beyond Thunderdome fell in my ranking,
would you put it at the bottom?
I think so. And I would have been so wrong. Maybe not so wrong, but like I don't think it's right at the bottom. I honestly think this might be the Rosetta Stone for the entire franchise. I think everything that George Miller has been working toward in the previous movies and in the movies that came is in Beyond Thunderdome.
Okay. Yeah, because you do get a lot of like the lore and just how everybody is so disconnected from the world before. Because that's the thing about Mad Max that never ceases to surprise me, because I always forget it, is that it is a recent dystopia.
Oh, yeah.
Like Mad Max in the first film was a cop.
Yeah.
And there's still the tatters of society trying to like hold together at the seams.
Yeah, Mad Max #1 is set in August 2025.
Yeah, and that always blows my mind, because the fashions
God.
The fashions imply that we are like 5th generation post-apocalypse.
Oh, you mean in this one, or like just in any?
In all of them.
Okay.
But yes,
I love
in
to
this
imagine
one.
that we're maybe 20 years from the apocalypse.
So yeah, like in this one, we're gonna skip over Beyond Thunderdome, but we'll go back.
Okay.
We're gonna skip over Thunderdome, but we're going to Beyond, and then we'll be back. We happen upon this tribe of children, and they're either survivors of or children of survivors of a plane crash that happened during this apocalyptic event, which I think we learn in this one based on their like oral storytelling. Like they're using like cave paintings. It's very cool. Their lack of terminology though is hard to understand.
Yeah. They're like, in the before time, before moving picture machine.
Yeah, exactly.
There was turbulence. Like they have the word turbulence.
Yeah, it is very Flintstones-esque in those moments, but it's really cool that we learn that, there was a nuclear bomb, there was nuclear winter, there was fallout, and it explains why there are no cities, why we are literally just in the desert.
Yeah, I think the core mythology of all of it is ecological disaster, and like you see that in the beginning of the first Mad Max movie.
Well, and it makes sense because nobody has water. Everybody's like, where's the water? So thirsty.
Yeah, all of our resources are
oil
drying
is
up.
Currency.
And then in between
kind of like now.
Between Mad Max 1 and Road Warrior, Mad Max 2, the world goes to war for those resources and they all kill each other. I assume. I mean, we only see Australia. I gotta assume the rest of the planet looks just like it.
The only carryover characters in the movies are Max, so I'm assuming that everybody either dies or we just move on. He's kind of a nomad.
Yeah. He is like the Clint Eastwood style character. They even call him the man with no name in this movie.
Even though he tells people his name is Max.
Every single person he comes into contact, who are you? Name's Max. And like, the man with no name. It's a pretty great introduction though.
It's cool. He's got no like affiliations. He's got no loyalties. And it makes him kind of a cool rogue vigilante, but he tends to err on the side of the good.
Yeah, he essentially, he can't help but help. And he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't want to hear anybody's stories. And And I think that's simply because he can't say no to helping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he will walk away if he can, but he almost never can. You know, like Fury Road, like I think the example that most people know, like that the most recent Mad Max movie, I think a lot of people saw it. You know, Max, played by Tom Hardy in that movie, just wants his fucking car back. That's all he wants. And then in the process of getting his car back and getting the fuck out of there, he's like, God damn it, now I gotta help these ladies.
I feel like that's a lot of the plot of the second one. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory is like super shady. But isn't he the entire time just doing this like barter that gets longer and longer and longer just for gas?
Isn't that
just for gas?
Isn't that the plot of Beyond Thunderdome? Like, he's just like, I just want my camels back. I need my car. And they're just like, all right, cool, but you gotta do this for us.
Somebody stole my monkey. I just want to come in and find my monkey and then get out of here. And they're like, okay, cool.
Monkey,
but we saw that you're good at punching and stuff, so we got an offer for you.
Also, surprise, surprise, this, I mean, maybe the only thing anybody ever talks about.
Tina Turner?
Tina fucking Turner.
Yeah, so she's kind of great in this
She's
movie.
awesome in it.
She's kind of so good.
And they've got a couple shots with her, like, on the dune buggies where I'm like, I think Tina Turner is actually ripping around in the desert right now.
She's killing it.
She's got her own zip line down from her, like, loft apartment to the Thunderdome.
It's pretty cool, especially for being not the boss of Watertown.
Whoa, that depends who you ask, Kim. That depends who you ask.
Yeah, are we going to try to go through the plot, or are we...
We're almost doing it right now.
Yeah, so Max is looking for his camels and his monkey. And yeah, Tina Turner recruits him. She's like, hey, I got this other guy who's like trying to be the boss of Bordertown, and Bordertown's my town.
Yeah. I need you to kill a guy. By the way, he's actually two guys, but I only need you to kill one of them.
I only need you to kill the strong half.
Yeah, what's the character's name?
Master Blaster.
Master Blaster.
Yeah, so Master is a little person who's basically like a backpack to
Blaster.
To Blaster, who is like a giant.
Unstoppable killing machine.
He's just a walking helmet.
He's a walking helmet. He's essentially like 500 pounds of unkillable muscle. Max agrees to go into the Thunderdome to fight to the death, to assassinate Blaster.
Yeah, so, and then we're 20 minutes into the movie, and they're like, come on, everybody, let's go into the Thunderdome. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, we're going to get a 3-act structure inside this Thunderdome?
How long are we going to be in the dome?
I mean, in Gladiator, he becomes a gladiator pretty quick.
Do they have a Thunderdome in there?
You watched the movie like 2 months ago. And I mean, the Thunderdome is just a gladiator pit in the apocalypse.
Yeah,
that's all this is.
But it's got chainsaws.
Oh man. So like the whole idea of the Thunderdome is that two men enter, one man leaves, which is a big chant that everybody has.
They have a lot of simple poetry and as for rules in this town.
I want to come back to that because I think it's genius.
The wheel.
Yeah, okay. Don't bring it up yet. So the Thunderdome is a gladiator pit. It is essentially just held together by sticks and twine, and yeah, you're not allowed to leave until the other person's dead. You go in with
it's judge, jury, and executioner.
Absolutely.
This is how they settle everything.
Oh, how is it that they describe it?
Yeah, the master of ceremonies has a whole big speech about.
Oh man,
he waxes poetic about death.
He waxes poetic about so many things.
And like, the wheel.
He's in a lot of scenes, and I fucking love this guy. If I could get him to introduce me at every party, that'd be rad. That's what I would do if I became a billionaire. Like if I won the Powerball lottery, I'm like, where's that actor? I need that guy hanging around in my entourage. Okay, but people are surrounding the Thunderdome. They are on top of it like it is a speaker system at Woodstock 99, and they are all holding weapons, just like Woodstock 99. And yeah, like if you could reach...
I was gonna use the metaphor, the jungle gym, but sure.
It does kind of look like a jungle gym. There's no way kids on the playground didn't turn those little jungle gyms into
they're like, death.
But like people are holding out swords and scythes and other weird pokey devices and a fucking chainsaw with a thimble of gasoline in it. And if you can get to it, you're allowed to use that weapon to kill the other dude you're fighting.
Yeah, and they're on like bungee chains, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
They can like whip through the Thunderdome, and there's a lot of whip sound effects.
I was gonna say the sound guy was just like, you want extra whips in here, right, George?
You want the...
You want a little boing? I got a couple boings. I'll leave them in.
I'll just put them in a little quiet. Yeah, I love it. I think it's so fun. I'm sad that we don't go back to the Thunderdome for the finale.
Yeah.
Like, especially when Max does his heroism and then he is, head to head with Tina Turner again. Now I know
You want Tina Turner to fight in the Thunderdome?
Kinda. I knew that wasn't gonna happen, but like a girl can wish.
There should be a season of Drag Race that only takes place inside the Thunderdome, right? Like, that's where the lip syncs happen.
A Mad Max themed season of RuPaul would be amazing.
It'd be incredible.
That would be so good.
The fashion.
There's no way they haven't done a challenge that's Mad Max yet, right?
Somebody has clearly, like, just ripped off the Tina Turner getup, for sure.
Oh, man. That would be so cool. But yeah, so the Thunderdome is definitely the peak of the movie for me.
It's in the fucking title. That's the problem.
Because
right?
they knew what they had.
They knew it. This movie should have just been called Live from the Thunderdome. Tina Turner Live from the Thunderdome. Opening act, Mad Max.
Yeah, so then he decides he can't kill Blaster because once he gets the helmet off, he realizes Blaster has a disability. And he's like, yo, you didn't fully divulge what was going on here. That's not cool. Then they kill him anyways. And because he reneged on the deal, Tina Turner's like, you must face the wheel.
Break the deal, face the wheel.
Because apparently they make a lot of deals.
I guess so.
And then he spins the Wheel of Fortune and he gets, what is it, gulag or something?
He gets the gulag.
Which is... You're going on a horse out in the wilderness and we're leaving you for dead.
Yeah, they basically just exile him. They put a paper mache head on him, like
Looks
something
great.
from the Pet Boys, and then they just push him out into the desert. So we're moving through the plot of the movie here, and I do want to spend a little more time on the philosophy of the Thunderdome.
You want to go back to the Thunderdome?
Yeah, I think this in the post-apocalyptic world that they live in, this is. And I say this, like, this is no secret. This is their democracy. Like, this is how they uphold society. Like, the whole intro in the beginning of the Thunderdome was just like, back in the before times, fights led to war, and war led to death.
The scope was much too large. It hurt us all.
Yeah, well, the reason we got here, the reason that we have nothing, is because it's arguments led to fights, fights led to war, I think is what they say. And so if two guys get into a fight, if anybody in Bartertown gets into a fight, you hash it out in the Thunderdome.
It's so funny that we're talking about this now because do you remember that I was theorizing something similar to you while we were driving home and talking about World War III that is maybe happening? And
okay. I mean, this is just a regular
and
everyday
I said
talk.
that in order for countries to invade each other, that the leaders themselves had to fight first.
They fucking better.
This is that.
That would be great.
This is that.
Except
Thunderdome.
So on top of that, they've also got all their dumb little phrases, right? Like 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, and then everybody chants that.
Axe
Break
the tax.
deal. Yeah, exact. Axe the tax. Like whatever the dumb slogans were in the United States. I can't remember them anymore because my brain's just full of the Canadian election right now. But like we're full of dumb slogans everywhere you go with every political party now, and that's all this felt like to me. On top of that, this is their core belief. And like this is how they maintain a structure within their society. And it's already corrupt. Tina Turner is supposed to be the person who fights Master or Blaster, but she doesn't want to do it, so she hires somebody else to do her dirty work. Like no matter what, there's still an avenue for corruption.
Oh.
And to break the system.
Oh no.
Because she's the one in power, right? Like isn't this too fucking funny to watch right now? Like, if only there was a sequence where they're like, let's tank the sand stock market. Like, oh boy, gas futures are down.
But in the sense, too, it's also just dueling. So it's like also we've reverted to a simpler form of justice.
Yeah.
Like, we've removed the judicial system because that's way too much work and not timely. And we're just going to have a duel. Because it is essentially just a duel.
No, I agree. And like, yes, you're right. Absolutely. Like we are reverting back. I just loved how much it felt so familiar. Like it's a movie from the mid 80s that's, talking about an imagined future that we're all basically living in right now. And it just felt very timely, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's almost impossible right now to not see our situation in everything we're watching, especially Mad Max, being a Canadian and, there's somebody that wants our resources and wants to annex us because they need our resources. And it's very tribal almost, as if one were to have cooler fashions.
That'll solve everything.
I can't wait till we get cool outfits.
Kim is begging for the end times to come.
These
so
are
she can...
the end times, John, and they don't look great
You're just
fashion-wise.
I just want to put spikes on every surface I own. I want a car that is just cowhide.
I was like, and the cow car. I need
what is up with that cow car?
I loved it.
That was actually pretty amazing.
I love all the dune buggies and shit.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're the best.
And I do
they're
love
spikes with wheels.
I was kind of when he went to like Kidland and we were in Kid Lore Story.
Uh-huh.
But we got back to Border Town and then there was like a bunch of car chasing stuff. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense. We're going to have a car chase.
That car chase sequence was incredible. Like where we're on the train tracks and we're just basically just trying to get the fuck out.
And that stuff felt very reminiscent of the newer Mad Max movies. Like, especially the bad guy on the train. What do you call that thingy that you like push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, push down?
I don't know. I think that's just like a manual...
A cart
thing, yeah.
Because they were on like a one-track drive, which is what the truck was doing in Fury Road.
I mean, they do it in Furiosa. They do it in Road Warrior. This is... If it's not a fucking Mad Max movie, if we're not heading toward the horizon and just punching everybody who tries to steal our truck.
Yeah, and it's just a great way for them to show off all of the insane stunts they're doing.
Yeah.
The jumping from car to car on its own is crazy. Mm-hmm. But then they're doing like fight sequences and stuff and you're just like, this is nuts. This is crazy. And it's dusty. Everybody's got dust in their eyes and their nose and their mouth and they're doing work.
And it's hot. You're like, none of this great fashion breathes. We're all just supposed to look good.
Yeah, the fashion is not for function.
No. Yeah, no, these movies are pretty fucking incredible, and even the ones from the 80s you still watch now, and you're like, I don't know how they did this. Like, I don't know. First off, these...
Dangerously.
Yeah, exactly. Like, these Australians are just insane. When you watch behind-the-scenes footage, or you just look at photos of them shooting the first Mad Max, I don't know how they're not all dead.
There was that scene where that guy was dangling on that spike off the car, and there was one angle where you could see that he had some kind of like harness thing, but there were other angles and I did not see a harness.
There were a couple where there definitely were.
We were just like, what's going on here?
I'd just like to imagine that directly below him was a big old mattress. I'm sure they're taking it safe, like especially as they get more money and they become more like major studio movies. They're definitely taking less risks. But like that is the genius about even the newer ones, because you watch them now and Furiosa especially, unfortunately, but like even Fury Road, like a lot of it, they're sweetening it. Like there's a lot of special effects that go into it, but the rigor and the watchful eye that's on everybody, making sure no one gets hurt, and you still think it's crazy fucking dangerous. Like somebody's gonna die making this movie.
I was surprised that Mel Gibson is in this one. It being the third sequel, you were always trashing it as like this terrible version. And then we're in a Thunderdome, nothing's Mad Maxy at all.
You gotta remember too, like on TV with commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Like the middle of this movie drags with commercial breaks.
Yeah.
But I liked it a lot going this time around. And I think Mel Gibson was Mad Max. Like it'd be weird if he wasn't in it up until 2015. Then we were all like, fuck it, who cares? Tom Hardy's great. Like we're really just in those movies for Charlize Theron anyway, right?
Yeah, Charlize Theron is the Max of Fury Road.
Yeah.
I mean, Max is in Fury Road, but Charlize Theron is the Max.
Uh-huh. He is a different type of Mad Max in this movie. Like, you can tell that he has become a movie star in this one. He doesn't seem as rough around the edges. They even give him a fucking makeover in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, he does get a haircut.
Like
his mullet was awful before that, though, so I approve.
You don't like the desert mullet?
I love a mullet, but it wasn't a real mullet.
And he's Australian.
I can spot a fake mullet.
You're like, they didn't cut off hair. That just wasn't there.
I'm glad, though, that he's in them because I'm not a huge Mel Gibson fan, but he is great in these movies.
Yeah, it's nuts watching the original because like you're like, I can't believe he was ever this young.
Is that the movie that kind of like made him a star?
Absolutely, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's crazy now.
He's fucking insane now. I don't know that he brings a lot to the role in Thunderdome, right? Like
in this one, not really.
It's mostly the scene and the setting that tells most of the story. He's not the center focus.
Yeah, no, he's really not. I think what they're really trying to tell here is kind of the legend of these lost children, the Lost Boys, essentially. It's like the Lost Boys, Lord of the Flies, pick one of your children in the dystopia stories.
Yeah. I know, watching it now, all I can think of is Hook, like all the kids in Hook who have the imaginary food fight. You know, Rufio. That's all I'm imagining when I watch these kids. The way they tell their story is fun because they're essentially using cave paintings, but they have this sort of viewfinder, yeah, that they're using like you would present a movie or something. Like they're showing you snapshots, like the way a director would like hold up their thumbs and their fingers to frame something. Is really kind of cool. I liked their stuff way more in this than I thought I did.
I was kind of like meh about it while it was happening, and then I kind of vibed with it because you don't get a lot of time for context in the Mad Max movies because a lot of it is just like, okay, we're in this world where like oil is currency and there's a lot of dust and we're going to fight. And that's great and all, but like I was saying in the beginning of the episode, it gives so much gravity to the world when you realize how recent they're in this situation.
Yeah.
And these kids are like first generation, you know, post-AD or whatever they're calling the post-NW nuclear winter.
Okay.
So I think that's really cool. They do have this like prophecy about, because there was a pilot. I didn't really get all of it. There was a pilot who left and then he said he was going to come back. And they basically have a cave painting that looks exactly like Mel Gibson.
Exactly like him.
And they think he's going to fly this commercial plane that's essentially just a relic in the desert.
Yeah.
And they kind of set up like it's going to be a thing, right? Because they end up trying to get Master, who I was like, okay, yeah, he's super smart. Maybe he knows how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
And then they end up with the pilot from the beginning, who is the one that stole Mel Gibson's camel and monkey.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, they're going to get him to fly the plane. But we never revisit the commercial plane.
No, they just fly off on his teeny little thing, which is cool and all.
So I guess the prophecy is kind of correct because Mel Gibson, it does like sacrifice himself for them to fly away.
Yes. And like that seems to be a pretty common theme in a lot of the movies where Max has to be the person who's left behind. Everybody else gets to go on and he gets to sort of go off and be nomadic, which I like. It is a very sort of Clint Eastwoody move.
It is crazy
kind of
how much he doesn't die in the desert.
Yeah.
He has zero resources. A monkey saves him. That girl saves him. In the end of the movie, he's just like, well, back to the desert with me. And I'm like, really? Because you don't fare well in the desert on your own.
A lot of people save him. Yeah. Like a lot of people pick him up from near death and he's just like, I'm an expert at living out here.
Did a great job again, Max. Desert 0, Max 3.
I love that these movies are very, and I think this is incredibly intentional, about how fast everything gets fucked. In the absence of society, everybody becomes horrendously mad, and it only takes 2 years, and there's no return from it. Like Tina Turner, Auntie Whatever, is actually kind of the best character of everybody that you've met, of all of the leaders in all the Mad Max movies.
She's kind of the least evil.
That's what I mean.
The kind of the calmest.
Yeah.
She offers him fruit.
Yeah, and she's just like, I came here where it used to be mud, and now it's a town. There used to be robbery, and now there's bartering. And as much as it's still a corrupt system, it's not nearly as bad as some of the other assholes in the rest of the movie.
No, I will say, I don't know if there's necessarily a bad guy in this movie.
Yeah, then maybe that's part. It's weird how like that would be such a sticking point for me to be like, oh, there's no big bad. What are we doing here? We're kind of just like flip-flopping around. I had a really good time with it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun ride.
It's just about like power and you know, getting people back.
It is definitely one of those like middle-aged man movies. The same way that like all your favorite artists, you know, at some point their music, you're just like, oh, this is the album where they had a kid. Like you could hear it in the music where we're just like suddenly a little more optimistic about the future that we used to be talking about being a doomsday. And like this movie is no different about how we have to tell the story of the past to today to the people that come tomorrow.
Yeah, they're definitely ending this on like a feeling of rebuilding.
Yes. The children are the future.
Yeah, it is a little optimistic. So you're right. It is like Mad Max with oven mitts on.
A little bit.
And especially too, like with Tina Turner not being such an evil villain.
Yeah.
And this one is also just a little bit like sillier.
Man.
I think this is definitely family friendly Mad Max, right?
I think so. I think if you had to show one to the family, this is probably the one you'd bring out first.
Yeah.
Because one, it's not going to bore them. It's not going to traumatize them too much. And it's hilarious. It's sort of Sword and Sand or Sword and Sandal, like those 80s movies.
I have never heard that term.
You've
before.
never heard that term?
No, but I really like it.
It's like gladiator movies. I think they called them Sword and Sandal movies. Like Spartacus is a Sword and Sandal movie where it's just like a bunch of people. Like it's kind of a derogatory term to it. It's basically just like we got a set, we threw some sand on, we gave people sandals, and like here we are. It's ancient Greece. Like that's the idea.
I love them.
Movies like Beastmaster or Red Sonja, like all of those movies from the 80s.
300?
300 is absolutely a Sword and Sandal movie, and so is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
I ate that shit up. I love these movies. When you're like, hey, Kim, do you want to watch an action movie? This is what I would like to watch.
This was a blast.
I want to watch Chainsaw Thunderdome Tina Turner movie.
So the first 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes and the last chase sequence. Mm-hmm. We can all take a bathroom break, go get some popcorn, refill on snacks during the kids' stuff.
Lost in the desert.
It's nice and all, but yes, I agree. Let's build a better future for everybody. One with maybe less chainsaws. I mean, if we could carry over one thing, maybe it'd be a fun chainsaw. So what's the definitive ranking?
Okay, so this isn't fair, though. Like, I don't really remember 1 and 2.
1, he's a cop.
But I don't really remember
He's
it.
got a cool car.
I'm going to say...
a very fast
I'm just going to go by vibes.
Okay.
And, like, my...
Vibes.
This is what my soul is telling me. My soul is telling me that I really
Start from the bottom.
I really liked number 2.
Start from the bottom.
No, I'm starting from the top.
You're starting from the top.
I really liked number 2.
With a bullet, number 2.
I think so.
Okay.
But I don't remember it.
I know you don't, because we've got some carryover characters from the second movie that are in this one
Oh,
that
really?
you just completely fucking forget.
Oh, no.
The pilot, the guy with the helicopter. Yeah.
No!
And like he's got a little kid in this movie, which is not the kid from the second movie, but is essentially just sort of like a riff on the fact that there was a kid in the second movie.
Damn.
That kid, he's got a boomerang.
I do remember
with
there being
razor blades on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking number 2 is
There's a guy who's wearing like a Jason Voorhees mask the whole fucking time.
And then I think Fury Road is number 2.
Okay.
Then Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And then number 1, and then Furiosa.
Okay, my list is not too different. Start from the top. My favorite, if I'm being perfectly honest with myself, it's Fury Road. That's the one I think I like the most. And then the original Mad Max. I think it's kind of a perfect indie movie, followed by Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome, Furiosa.
So it's in order except
it's
for
pretty
Fury
much in
Road.
Exactly. It's in order except Fury Road.
That's fair. No, I vibe with that.
I fucking love the first one.
I need to rewatch 1 and 2.
That's okay.
And it's crazy that it's only been a year because I did not log or file either of those movies in my brain cavity.
You're like, I can't remember a thing. It's probably number 1.
I can't remember a thing. Loved it.
Good work, Kim.
Thanks.
Real proud of you.
Yeah, well.
And believe it or not, as much as this was a late in the game addition to this season of the podcast, it does tie in with our secret theme. What do you think this movie has in common with Witches of Eastwick and Fire Walk with Me? That's the mystery you gotta solve this season. All of these movies has something tied together, some connective tissue, and if you can guess what the secret theme is, you're gonna win yourself a cool prize pack.
For the form on where to enter, just head to the link in the description or go to nofspodcast.com/go. All of our links are there. You can also join our Discord community where we hang out and chat horror movies, and also our Fiend Club on Patreon if you want to support the show and get bonus content and merch rewards and all that cool stuff. Head to nofspodcast.com/Fiend Club.
We'll be back again next week with another hint at this season's secret theme. But until then, I'm John.
I'm Kimmi.
Stay creepy.
It appears you made it out alive, but we'll get you next time. Help us to grow the horde. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you subscribe. More terror can be found lurking on our website, nofspodcast.com. Until next time, stay creepy, fiends.